And we're live. We are live, yeah. Hello, everybody. Okay, quite pushy, so no trade here. Sorry, hi. I'm looking for something. Yeah, I was just in the middle of a potential trade to take, but not enough trigger here. Very low term frame. I was scalping a lot today. Yeah, might be going for the high again. Okay. So good evening. Hope you're doing good. Hope you survived this quite of a drop we had, right? It's yeah, it is what it is, right? So we're gonna talk about all of that. I woke on the chart a bit this morning, but I didn't saw the time go today, and wanted to prepare something a bit clearer. And it's already time that I go live, so just go live and we'll discuss as things goes. Who is here? Munir, hey there. Hey there. Hey there. Hello. Hello, hello. A few people in. So, start with the mid-high time frame picture here. Since we did took February low here yesterday, for me, that's a validation that we finished 5 waves up. Okay, was looking at potential alternative, scenario ending diagonal, especially when we're in the middle. The closest we come to the low, I was still looking at potential upside, but yeah, the warning was there. We had quite no liquidity, quite a lot of warning on the last week drop here when market makers just pull all the bids and let things just drop like a rock. Then we went sideways. That was last week. Yeah. And we continue down. So there was a bit of shenanigan here. So I did try I did long here. I got stopped out. I did quite heavy at the end. I was kind of looking for at least a retrace that we didn't had. But yeah, thankfully also been short, right? Shorts in the top because the scenario of this potentially be the 5 waves finished. I have always been a clear possibility, especially on the second take of the high here. And yeah, there was many little opportunity to take a short on the way down. Just not much that I've been able to really plan in advance and do a nice shot, to say this is where I'm looking to short. It's really, yeah, swing fair pattern of a major high or of a range high, like like here, or even like here, or even like here, or even here. This kind of little trade that initially I just scalp and turn out to just continue to run down. That said, yeah, we are in the green box now. Why is it a green box here? Well, we have the 200 moving average. We are between two high volume nodes of the range. POC a bit lower. it's an important volume support. We are here right now. And we can see we have reaction here indeed. That said, I'm not expecting this to a V-shape reversal here. I rather expect a bottom to build and may after have a nice leg. But with the structure, the feeling of that move down here, whatever we finished here, I strongly believe that would just be wave A. It remains to be seen if we do reverse here. It could even go a bit lower, could go a lot lower. But for the, let's say, to keep a bit of potential bullishness here, I will want to have a local bottom in this area. So we can have a bounce, and then that would probably just be wave A, right? If we don't really reverse here and we went to go lower before having a bounce, that would decrease the probability that we're incorrective and increase the probability that we will overall continue down. But we'll see. Let me come back quickly on the low time frame here, because we are taking the high locally. Not exactly what I wanted. Okay, that is squeezed out. Yeah, short squeezed again, bottom shorts. I think we could go. Doesn't seem like a finish to me yet. You'll see my main interests are higher. So we have our ABC here. Let me delete this. That doesn't really matter anymore. This very low time frame structure, but we have ABC up, ABC down as I see it. Can probably fit 5 waves as well, but let me take the fib. Simple. The thing here. Now, to be honest, I would have preferred to take the low now, but instead of taking that high. NPOC daily open. This is the liquidity that got my interest here. And I'm still not really convinced of the higher count here. I tried to count the whole move down this morning, so still quite reaction. For this, it's since this top, it's pretty good and clear enough to me. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Potentially, maybe we're still into that fourth, but where it's complicated here is how do we count that part, So for now, I went with assuming this is a full wave 1, even if the sub count isn't great, and this is a flat here, basically. So having a 1, 2, but if that's the case, well, we didn't quite reach a 161.8 target for the third here. That's why I would have preferred to go a bit lower. But that said, you know, there's probably tens of ways you fit something, especially here and here. But there is no very clean ones. You know, there's just none. In my opinion. There is no wick on the daily candle yet. Yes, there is one now. Well, it's not closed, but so yeah, sorry, I'm gonna come back on the higher time frame, something a bit clearer, but I just like to monitor that. Yeah, well, I get that's it. I mean, you know, we took liquidity. Would have preferred front run naked POC again. What the heck? Yeah, well, at least we got liquidity back and emotional traders back, as you can see. Founding is still negative, but going back up. So here we already squeezed short, and now they're coming back aggressively. Where is the open interest coming from here? What? Not Bybit and not either Bybit or Binance here? Who is doing what? Okay, one by one. Okay. Okay, OKX. One for big short here. OKX Wells. So yeah, we can squeeze them again. When to, it seems that we just have extension still here. You know, there's overlapping, so it seems that we are still into something along those lines. Well, let's just stop doing 1 minute count. Let's see. It's a problem. Sometimes 1 minute counts work so great. Like, I mean, I took a long here. Just earlier here, it's the nicest ABC was clear 5. And now I get nice long. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. That's if we ignore a bit the counts here. We can see that we started to form a range here. We have an increase in selling volume here until we really reach our climax. Well, I'm kind of inclined to call a preliminary support, or somewhere in here, preliminary support. And this is selling climax, secondary test, STP. But you see, we're getting deceleration and decreasing interest into selling until you get your capitulation here. And then got squeezed, and volume is back here because, well, you know, the one that got squeezed up here get mad to see it get squeezed. They go long and they get squeezed the other side, so they go short again and they get squeezed again. Yeah, liquidity, emotional traders are back. But where do you have your most liquidity here? I would believe it's that high. And also, let's come back on the higher time frame. It's basically here. Oh, Wyckoff chart. We're gonna start with that. We have a range up here that for now we can consider this as a distributional range. This is for sure distribution. Is this distribution or reaccumulation? It's still debatable because it kind of depends on what happened here, but it's most likely distribution still to me. But you have your preliminary support coming into your selling climax, automatic correction, secondary test, or 2 phases of distributions, accumulation in the middle. Now you break down this. So this is really the area you need to reclaim for bulls, but I would say that, yeah, to 20,400, if you start to get acceptance back here, it's not too trappy, well then okay, you might look at this as just some kind of spring. Until this happens, I expect more downside. Just a bit like here, you have your resistance here. A bit more downside, or at least consolidation, you know. And then, as the idea, so we have 5 up, is that if we can reverse here, is to see where we can go, where we can squeeze back up. No more move up, okay. Main interest being clearly a POC here, trend line, this kind of area. For what? For an LPSY, a retest of the supply of that range. Retest of the sellers. And from an A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3. Kind of my game plan mainly for now. So yeah, unless we reclaim this 20,000, I want to say 21,000, this area, 20,400 will already be a sign of strength if it gets reclaimed again, you know, acceptance, not just a grab of liquidity. And yeah, as the range builds, well, just along the bottom of the range, shorts the top, etc. The extreme, either the sweep of liquidity, or the sweep of liquidity in the sense that you either take the local high, the local low, or inside, depending of the context. I say this morning I kind of expect that we have either expansion for first and contraction then, or contraction first and expansion then. For example, if we stay here inside the range, we'll expect expansion then. If we go up here, I will expect expansion and then contraction. But overall, I can look at the event here on a 5-minute chart with a Wyckoff perspective. At the end of the day, the range that we might be building here might just end up to be preliminary support. So, and we can get another move down, will become the selling climax. We can come back, retest that, etc. But most likely we're just starting a potential range. The only other way is this: if this is a spring and we get a V-shaped reversal, and you get acceptance back into the previous range, which doesn't really feel likely now. There was really a lot of control selling, and so much, yeah. And sentiment is really quickly gonna flip heavily bearish. It's flipping bearish. It's already flipping into fear right now, and I think there is more to come yet. There's some weird shit that have happened. I kind of feel that we could be seeing more bad news, you know. I don't know, maybe Signature Bank going bankrupt as well, or persecute for criminal activities or stuff like this. Anyway, there's a lot of potential for bad news, so even if we are going to turn this out in a bullish way, where you probably want to build as much here as possible to accumulate here if you are the big players that sold up here. And if it is worse than I proposing here, well, we could also just continue to capitulate down at some point. We could have still a consolidation of some sort here that could turn out to be just through distribution, and we continue the job. Pretty hard to predict. We can make plans and act accordingly, but I don't know the future. Right? All I know is we completed 5. That can be either wave 1 and we're going to build a higher low, but that will likely take some time, and that will likely be just the first wave of the correction. We'll expect it to take several months, or it's extremely bearish and we have an expanded flat here and we're going for new lows. We can watch if it end up to be just a deviation below this, but if we go for that scenario, I'm more inclined to believe that we will go toward 10k, 7k, and so. For now, you can see how much this is aggregated spot chart. There is some serious selling here. It's not just like, you know, just capitulation, stop getting hit or stuff like this. There's serious selling. Absorption happened on the last few bars, so that's why well, it's because there was a bit of too much fear and people shorting the bottom, you know, selling the bottom. So of course it produced bounce, but there was so much excess in selling all the way down. At some point you expect a squeeze, mainly based on derivative. Yeah, some volume here, seriously. Interesting. That's some life. I'd be really surprised if we turned out to be a spring. You really have distribution to support. That's the consolidation I'm saying it is your resistance at the moment. You can take supply, but should do resistance now. Okay. Could it be big sellers selling into their bids on reverse? Yes. No, we're looking at the open interest here on the larger picture. You can see that you have a lot of positions that have been built here, right? Open interest, especially on Invest. Stablecoin contract tend to close more quickly. But here you have a lot of positions that have been built up and stayed open. And you had a lot of aggressive selling at the top. Aggressive selling, I mean that because of the fact that you have growing open interest here going on downtrending CVD, so that's market orders, that's not passive selling at limits. It's market selling. So it's big entities, most likely market makers, that just market sell into support. So into retail, trying to bid at limits. And so this bullish CVD turned out to be leading and not a bull div, like it often does at the distributional range in Bitcoin, in fact. But then you can see in the drawdown that the all open interest is closed now, and we are back below where we started to build that. So position that have been built here is now mostly closed. Back to neutral. Well, there is less. You also don't really have a bullish open interest building on the way up. That could be also a concerning thing, right? Because you don't have growing open interest as we went up. You just have growing open interest at the top. All that to say, could they be selling in their on bids? It doesn't feel like it, to be honest. The thing is, there is not one entity that is playing against retail. It's not that. There is several entities, there is several market makers coming from different regions. It's an international market that never sleeps. And big players that play against themselves, against each other's. Like we have been able to see with Alameda. It's supposed to be, you know, Alameda was supposed to be enjoying insider information, was close to the exchange, and we knew there was some stuff shady over there when we saw that it was just that they were trading against their customers and using insider information and priorities on the trading API, giving them an edge, yet they still managed to get completely wrecked. So if they got wrecked, that means that somebody else have been winning, and I'm doubtful that it is retail that went that has a winner here. So most likely there's a big player playing against each other. It's what it feels here, and you know, we see that all the bad news, the further stuff is coming from mainly the same place right now. It's coming from the USA. It's either all the big media, Washington Post, New York Times, or whatever, who are writing puff piece or bearish article about cryptocurrency in general, or the US government that is persecuting here and there, or are proposing severe law to restrict the industry, banking industry that is also cutting ties with crypto, etc., etc., etc. So who's gonna win the game? I don't know. We also see that Binance have been apparently bidding quite a lot and didn't succeed to keep a support here. So that's a bit the worrying thing. We just hope that Binance not gonna end up like FTX, or Tether not gonna end up like this as well. I still personally think Tether is fine. Binance, I'm not that much persuaded. I think they're fine still. And there was a weird shit also, like US government transferring apparently 10,000 Bitcoin to Coinbase somewhere last week or this past week. And a lot of selling happened on Coinbase. I think, as we can see, the volume on Coinbase selling here is pretty sustained compared to other exchanges. They're still selling, but Coinbase is, yeah, been high and sustained. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit here. You're coming here for the plan, but at the same time, I don't have much more to say here. No, it's a game of wait and see. There's no need to be in a rush of anything. If it claimed back resistance as support, well, reassess and we plan new entries and a retrace. You always end up to have a retrace. Almost always, at least the consolidation. Otherwise, well, you can start to look for long position now when you sweep the low, but as you're coming from up here, you most likely want to bet on lower lows rather than higher lows. Well, yeah, I still bet on the higher lows, but in a general manner, I mean. And you know, I still use Elliott Wave on a low time frame, and when I can. Yeah, I started to go long this morning during the live stream. I ended up closing the long because I didn't really have the count supporting it, but we were seeing the FOMO shot in there. But yeah, here I have the clear ABC. Now, if we break the low here, well, I will be looking to count 5 waves in some way, and 5 waves at the end to get a bit more confidence and a tighter invalidation. And I will be counting from the last significant swing high, which would be here at that point. If we're going higher before, that would be from here. If we're going here, we'll try as well to count. Now, the count helped me to have more precision, more confidence. Doesn't mean that it is always necessary. And I mean, if you get a move up and you see a big short squeeze, so open interest is going down, and what is best is to have a sharp increase in open interest as well. So, you know, open interest going down as you go up, you got consolidation, and then you got a very strong increase in open interest while the move is really little. So suggesting that you got FOMO getting absorbed. You wait for a bit of market structure change on a low time frame to have an invalidation maybe. And that triggers the trader. Should probably on the chart something. Well, You got this sharp increase in interest here. You got the squeeze after. That's it. Sometimes it's not always the same order. Sometimes you have, when the market is aggressive, you have here, for example, you have someone that went with a very big long. You have a sharp increase, not a big increase in open interest, in price, but a big significant increase in open interest. And in fact, what they did is they just successfully went for a short squeeze. So they forced a short squeeze. Then it reversed. Other time you will have, where do we have a nice, well, at the low, I guess. Here on USDT, it was extremely, that's where it was really obvious here. Because you're really big increase open interest here with a downtrending CVD. So you know there is big short getting absorbed, still managed to grab a bit of liquidity below, going to the squeeze, and then it reverses. And sometime you will have the squeeze first and the increase open interest after, and sometime in that order. That's usually what triggers the best trade, and you don't even need exo chart for that. Anyway, is it about flush down to held together? It's about to flush down to held together with S&P. Yeah, it's an interesting subject you mentioned me here. Most of you know, if you have been, if it's not the first time you are watching my stream, that I have a decently bearish bias on stock and the Western economy in general, in the sense that you know, I'm looking for all of this to be a complete impulse from the beginning of that chart, and we going to correct 100 years of a trend potentially. I believe this. I didn't went with this idea just myself, of course. There's a lot of people talking about potential doomish crash that have been talk about that for years and years. But one that got my interest is Robert Prichter from Elliott Wave International, the one that wrote the currently most famous book about Elliott Wave. Elliott Wave principle from Frost and Prichter. And so he have a very bearish outlook, and he also believes that we finished 5 waves. I have a different account of mine. He explained in one of his books, which is Conquer the Crash. And anyway, I think we finished. We are in a turning point in the story here, and that might be, yeah, many years of bad things about us. Now, even if you don't have as much of a bearish outlook on stock, there is still a way to drop significantly, right? Even if it's just to retest consolidation, the low of the COVID crash here, previous here. Volume support is here apparently. And surely if stock drops heavily, I'm not sure they can drop as heavily, but because I think there is some short circuits they just stop the trading if it's dropped too much now. So maybe not that quickly, but yeah, if it just continue to drop, especially if it starts to lose market structure here, well, if there is a mega crash everywhere, Bitcoin gonna most likely make a crash as well. That's why we can not ignore the possibility that we printed an expanded flat and we are in the path of going much lower and can see a flash crash, especially as there is no short circuit on Bitcoin. Well, I don't really want. There is a bit when price going down too much. Sometimes Coinbase, Binance, and BitMEX go down for sometimes, but not really official one. And there is a bearish feeling here in stocks. There is inflation rates going up heavily, pound yield going up, of course. We are seeing news about other banks, not only the crypto banks that are in trouble. I don't know, Credit Suisse, Silicon Valley Bank, and stuff. The what are the other data? How we say that? How much debt of the average American credit card debt that are really high, or government debt as well. The price of housing market that is really high and starting to curl down. The objective of Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, that is to tackle inflation whatever it costs, even if they are forcing unemployment, increasing unemployment. I mean, all of this stuff doesn't build a great base for a bull market. Now, it built enough here for this to potentially be trappy and not drop, but at the same time, it did not drop in all this fear. Fundamentals didn't change and are still mostly bearish in my opinion. So at some point it can just continue down. Those looking at Bitfinex code wallet large withdrawal works, no, it hasn't been much of an edge to me for quite some time. I don't look at it much anymore. Sometime Jenny hit me up when she looked at it and see it. She saw some a few days ago. End of February. 27, 28. Oh yeah, there was withdrawal here. But it's not working as well. In fact, I've been watching Bitfinex and I've been seeing Bitfinex buying here. I saw Paolo tweeting some bullish cryptic tweets that usually work out well, and it didn't work well here. You could even see on the heat map or the footprint even. You can see there is absorption. But that's also what highlight me fear, is that an exchange like Bitfinex that most likely don't do wash trading, unlike Binance. And you can see that the volume aren't great. You got at some point 0 BTC in the book, some places. You always have a bit of spoofing order, but that follow price. You can see the spoofing order that follow price. But if you go a bit away, you can see that some place there is just nothing. And there is hundreds of BTC that are bought here and there. It for me that's the real liquidity, but yeah, that's not that heavy. I mean, 100 BTC is good, but that's not that much. They're still buying, but yeah, I can buy for a long time. $100. So there's a few thousand BTC that have been bought by Bitfinex / Bitfinex on the past week. And they're still buying. Still a green delta compared to others. Especially if Coinbase have been selling. 13,747, say Polo. Oh, that was about SPX. Sorry, I keep up with the comment made. Usually I read the stream is delayed and my internet is down. No, almost. The stream is delayed and when I read the comment, it's always a bit late. Oh, you're looking at really... Oh, you're really bearish also on stocks. Looking at a lot of down. I don't know if we can down that much. I don't know how much we will come down. The thing is... Well, this seems to be at least... That will already be quite... quite a significant drawdown if we were to come to 1500. It's possible, surely. It's the high time frame. It's a big support. You have volume and you have your previous big top here from 2008 and 2000 crisis at 60% down still. I will be looking at the first correction. First consolidation we have first. The idea is that we could go down for a long time rather than just flushing down heavily. It's mostly that we could just trend down for a very long time and have significant drop along the way. But yeah, well, yeah, that doesn't seem so unrealistic, especially if they succeed to contract monetary supply and they keep on that and they don't start to the money printer again, which is probably likely. So we'll see. But you know, if we drop another 25%, 35%, probably at some point they're gonna come back and print. Is it gonna be enough? I don't know. Amphetamine does not go well with trading. Yes, comment about Alameda here, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah, suggestion, if you want to be successful trading on a full-time job, saying this while I'm sick, a good life hygiene else is a must. Sports, good food, etc. To sustain on the long run. It was too good for many years, people just buying stock because they always go up. It's about time to take care of pension and saving. Yeah, hello Tom. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna expand too much on this subject. I can recommend, yeah, Conquer the Crash as a book to read. Interesting. So he's talking a lot about some money supply, how it behave and the date and all of that stuff. What can I talk about then? I talk about charts. Well, one of the surprising things as well is we had GXY going down with stock going down, which is not a very common thing weapon most of the time, the XY is inversely correlated to risk, right? And so that's highlights also some worrying about the American economy, potentially. That's just for a short period of time, so it doesn't mean much, but yeah. Euro went up, I suppose, in that period. But I mean, is the euro going to go up against the dollar? If the dollar go down, maybe, but it will be down anyway. All stocks behaving the same. Gold is holding a bit more. Yeah, it's going up. So I've been interested in gold for quite some time. Well, since it started to print a clear trend here. 5 waves up. Now I would prefer still to buy it back a bit lower. You know? But surely an interesting edge. Now, if everything crash, gold crash as well, it's just it can recover a bit earlier, stronger. Aptos, is it holding here? Not so much. Well, there's many altcoins we can watch, but still we probably want Bitcoin to build a base first. Some of them are really at the edge of, are we in a corrective ABC or are we going to drop more and be in an impulse down, printing a bearish sentiment here. But surely there's many that are reaching interesting level, the golden pocket for some, depending if you look on log or linear. Seems to be finishing in impulse down. Cardano, I think. Yeah, I have a chart in Cardano. Well, it made a higher high here, so probably just a wave A if it bounces here. Potentially have a bottom, because I have a complete count here, a local bottom. That so you it's double thing. You can. It's preferable if you can build a base before jumping into any altcoins, but it's probable that there is some altcoins that are gonna start to run prior to it. In fact, an hint of liquidity, and that can be a sign. Can be a sign that Bitcoin might be about to bottom, or might be indeed bottoming. If some altcoins show some strength, there is enough volume, enough demand here. Can maybe come back on the high time frame chart here for a minute, and I guess I'm gonna keep that live short. That's a word chart. Yeah, I was highlighting a fact here. Oh yeah, that's still an idea. I forgot about that. Let me see. Completely forgot about that idea. It's a good thing I keep some chart on. Probably not the most likely. So yeah, bearish outlook here. If this is a flat, we have several possibility, ABC or WXY, probably a bit more sensible. For this first leg down work better as an ABC than 5s down, but both work. 2 6 retrace, and in that case we're gonna expect what level? Now that we have a high, we can project it. So 10K we have the 0.6018 and a 1-1 extension 90 come at 7,400. There's still this. It's crucial support. At the same time, as it is the most obvious support, kind of makes sense if the final move is lower. You know, you can have absorption starting here and have your... It's often this... When you have a good support volume like this, you can expect accumulation to happen under it, especially in high time frame, because that's where the long-term older buyers gonna be mostly underwater, because that's where there's the most volume. So when you go under it, that's where most of the buyers are underwater. So that's why you tend to have accumulation below it. And the big difference between this one and the APC, well, is the way you count 5 down or any form of corrective, ABC, WXY, WXYXZ. It can also be leading. I mean, leading, it could be just an impulse. Well, that's gonna be the same, in the sense that, well, maybe you're gonna find support a bit higher, but we will be looking for a finish of 5 waves as well down here. Right. But that will be for a 5th, and then it will be probable that we will continue down there. But they can still produce an intermediary bull market, lower high for, you know, halving and so on. Even for a very bearish case. That's a very bearish case, because it suggests that we could potentially come back down to 1K. I hardly buy this scenario. That 1K market cap is way too low to have any interest. And if we are bullish on Bitcoin, that means we foresee interest from especially big countries and billionaires and so on. So 1K seems way too low for that. That's a bullish outlook. It's still valid, right? Until we do break the low. Can pull the fib correctly here. And you can look for naked POC down there, just like we did in 2019-20, or at least retest of that range. By 2019-20, I am talking about 18. Yeah, I'm talking about that range. It could be that little range, right? We could be coming back testing it here on the lower time frame. Still kind of the same structure. I was looking for a lot stronger wave 5 to have more confidence about that. But yeah, that's still where you have your POC here and some exchange, or at least a comparable volume. I think drops here on YouTube. Not sure everything working. Yeah, anyway, we take a quick look at the monthly. Where are we? Okay, where are the monthly block level? Weekly. Yeah, again, that will need to get back above 20,800 to be bullish, which is very unlikely right now. Down to 18,800. Next major good support. That's where, yeah, 18,800 we go. Range can build on there. We're gonna have RSI still in neutral territory, so we are still fine. But likely we're going to come back in bear control territory. We're testing a trend line as well. How does that look on the daily? Oh yeah, we're on that trend line quite precisely. Quite precisely. That would be nice if we build our base here, have a bounce, and come back later for the last leg. And we can stay above that trend line. That would be nice. Okay, before I go, I just want to take a look back at the volume here. So we have contraction here, expansion on the downside, contraction, expansion especially at the tops here, and the first drop. It's a really clear distribution here. And you have sustained selling, increasing selling pressure as we broke down, contraction as we rebound, supply at the top still, a bit of an attempt of rally, but that doesn't succeed, failed auction, liquidation pool, increase in selling pressure, and now slightly decreasing. It's little absorption. Oh, that is obvious because there is absorption here, but we see it's just squeeze up and down. And yeah, the high volume here, you have a full bar down. Just like here, you have big volume and candle close at the low. It's not like yeah, like here, you know, you have a big volume, but little candle, so you see absorption that is keeping price. Or even here, you have a big candle, but you can clearly see absorption, just stop ends. Like here, it still feels like selling into support. Well, I guess we'll see next week how it evolves, we can evolve. I will not engage in anything in the weekend unless it is a fail break, either side. But that's mostly the trade I would be willing to take. And maybe we just stay here flat. I don't know. Otherwise, that's my main interest next. And taking profit quickly either side, you know. If we go up first, of course I will be looking down, but I will take profit a bit first, especially at the POC, golden pocket. If we go down first, well, I will be even more aggressive on the take profit, not necessarily looking for the high, but with that in mind. But as we end up coming from a strong downtrend, you can expect to have lower lows and not necessarily yet higher highs. That's what I mean. Okay, well, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope that was interesting nonetheless, and I see you all soon. Take care. Don't forget, the only thing you control in the market is how much you risk. So risk management is absolutely key. And I see you all very soon, either in Discord, Twitter maybe. I've been quite silent on Twitter recently, but who knows. Thanks again. Have a good weekend and see you all soon. Bye.